Yeah, it's interesting. But then I guess what impact does liquidity have on the Fed's actions? Because I think there's a lot of people talking about reverse repo as sort of running out of ammunition. End of last year, but after we spoke, there was talk about how would the Treasury sort of fund their deficit, and they sort of brought the funding a bit forward on the curve. So yeah, do you think there's a risk that liquidity could be the issue similar to what we saw in 2018?
Sure. People are very worried about the liquidity issue. The reverse repo facility is starting to run out. Now, just for everybody to understand, the simple way to think about this is there is a pile of money at the New York Fed in the reverse repo facility, which is not part of the financial system. It's separate. It's over at the Fed. As the reverse repo facility falls, that's not money disappearing. That's money being pushed back into the financial system. So it acts as a form of liquidity. And that liquidity has been offsetting quantitative tightening. So even though the Fed has been engaged in quantitative tightening, it's been canceled by this fall in the RRP, the reverse repo facility, as more and more money is being pushed out of the Fed. Remember, where does that money come from? It comes from money market funds. Money market funds can elect to engage in a repo transaction with the Federal Reserve for interest. But lately, what money market funds are starting to do now, because they think interest rates are going to get cut, is they've been buying long-term treasury bills, like 6 and 9 month treasury bills, to lock in these rates. So when rates do get cut, they don't immediately see their yields fall. That's why the RRP has been falling. The concern is that when the RRP is done falling, we're left with, if you will, pure QT. And that is removing money from the financial system then. And that there's a concern that that might create a liquidity problem. Okay, that is a concern, but there's no evidence that it will. And if we have a strong economy and sticky inflation, and the Fed were to react because something might happen, the fear that they have is they could create even more of a speculative frenzy in financial markets and even more inflation as we go forward. So the RRP is definitely something to keep in mind, but I think it's really all just a theoretical bet. What happens when it ends? What does it mean for QT? We understand what it means, but markets don't seem to be that bothered by it. They know it's coming and they're not really reacting to it.